I met a Gypsy.
Danger Boy. Dude, I'm a big fan of Danger Boy. You got a 30-year-old dude pretty invested in your riding and racing, bro.
Yeah, thank you.
What's it like kind of, I mean, I guess you don't know any different, but has it been something that you can see now that you're like, oh wow, this whole like YouTube thing's getting bigger, the whole Danger Boy thing's getting bigger, and you're riding, like you're backing up the riding. Is it kind of crazy to watch like how everything's happening for you at the moment?
Yeah, everything's getting more serious now. It's a lot of training, a lot of gym work, so everything is kind of coming to play now.
And it's the thing that I like about you from just watching the content that you guys put out, and it's a thing a bunch of people have said to me about your stuff, is that you look like you're having a lot of fun still.
Yeah, I do enjoy training and riding. It's I have a good mental status. You know, I like racing obviously and training, and I have a good mental status where I always want to win, so I always train the hardest.
What sort of stuff like teaches you about that mental side? Because I'm definitely super into that.
I don't know. I don't listen to much motivational stuff, but I listen to some of it, so that kind of gets me going. But I don't know. It just since I was little, I've always wanted to win, so that's kind of motivated me to bring it on. You know.
What motivational stuff do you watch and listen to?
I don't even. It's more like to be a champion type motivational speeches. You know, like harsh. You're the champion. You got to put in the work type motivation.
Yeah. Do you have anybody in particular that you've watched? Like, I mean, dude, Conor McGregor in his prime, some of the motivational stuff that he talks about, some of his interviews. Like, is there anybody that you look at where you're like, oh man, that's my guy?
No, not really. To be honest, I don't really watch too many motivational speeches from anyone popular. It's just more on some Spotify stuff.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. Yep.
No podcast? Not a podcast dude?
No, I don't really listen to podcasts much. Nope. I listen to my music, but that's about it.
So the last lot of stuff that I really watched of you was Texas. And dude, do you feel like you were kind of like really on point in Texas? Because man, I watched some of your motos and I was like, damn, this is like really legit.
Oh yeah, definitely. I definitely put in the work before though, and I came in confident that I was put in enough work where I was going to be able to win. So basically just put the hammer down and just focused and was able to put it down.
That track's pretty sick too, huh?
Oh yeah, that track's pretty good. It gets really rough though, so you definitely have to get some good technique and figure out your line choice pretty good. So it was definitely really rough. There's 2 tracks we went to. First track was underground. That track was actually super cool because there's some pretty big jumps. So tossed a few fat whips and during the moto, which was pretty fun, you know. And there's good breathing time when you got some big jumps. So that was underground was pretty good. And then I went to Freestone. That track's more technical. You know, you got a lot of little jumps, but it's more technical, rough, inside rollers, deep ruts. So that kind of tires you out quicker. But I was in good shape, so didn't really tire me out that much.
So I'm friends with, you remember Ben Townley? Remember him from back in the day, like battling with Villapoto and stuff?
No,
might be pretty young for.
I'd probably.
Yeah, he'd be pretty young for BT, but he's from New Zealand and he's got a kid Levi who's like he's kind of killing it in New Zealand and he wants to like go over to America eventually and sort of do what you're trying to do. And it was funny, BT saying that like he's worried about Levi overtraining and he's only 11 because he's like so obsessed with training and so obsessed with winning. And then he's looking at it as like a guy that was pro and he's like, oh dude, at some point you get over the training and you've got to like manage it. but then he looks at how keen Levi is to train, and he's like, man, you just can't stop him. And I kind of get that same vibe from you these days. Like, I see all the stuff that your dad puts on, his story of like you prepping the track at 7 a.m. before school and doing your soupy motos and stuff like that. Dude, I think it's so cool to see someone that's your age that's so committed to what they want to do in the future. And, you know, like, it's easier for us, like, older guys to be like, oh, man, you know, you might burn out, you might be overtraining, you might do this. But in the moment, like, watching you guys, it seems like you really just love what you do so much, and it's so cool.
Yeah, it is super fun doing all that. And I do enjoy going on the tractor and stuff and prepping my own tracks, but it's all a mindset, and it's all about how bad you want to win. So you got to put your head towards it and do what you got to do.
Yeah, dude. No, for sure. But, I mean, can you see, like, the level that you're at now? Can you see kids that say they want to win, but then you're like, oh, dude, you say you want to win, but you're not acting like me in terms of how bad you want to win, you know?
Yeah, definitely. I always see people, you know, I want to win this, I want to win that, but, like, you can tell that they're not putting in the work as much as they should be, you know? And I like to see, I see people train, you know, and I'd like to train a little bit harder, do a little extra than them, so I'm just a little bit ahead.
Yeah. No, honestly, dude, it's a real cool mindset. And man, I'm jealous of it because I didn't have that mindset when I was your age. And it's like, it's a weapon, man. It's a secret weapon that you've got. And you look at a guy like Cooper Webb, he's going to win the 450 championship, and he kind of had that same mentality, you know?
Yeah, he definitely surrounded himself by winners and then kind of adapted to that. So it's all who you surround yourself around with.
Do you have any favorite riders in particular that you really look at in terms of maybe like just the mental side? Like, who are the dudes where you're like, man, that guy's a G?
Definitely Cooper. He's came a long way with his mindset from to winning, you know. And I don't know. I'd definitely say Cooper would be at the top right there, but that's all I could think of really. And maybe Roxon, but he kind of cracks towards the end a little, but he has a good mindset.
And what about technique? Who are the dudes, even if they don't win, who are the guys that you think ride the bike the best?
100% Roxon. You know, he stands halfway through his corners, almost 75% of the way through his corners, and it's just so flowy, so smooth. And he's always got that little edge on everyone coming through those turns. So I'd definitely say Roxon with the technique.
So what do you think, why do you think he has that kind of technique over other people? Like, do you think maybe a bit of the Europe thing, or?
Yeah, I didn't really watch much of his like outdoor Europe racing, but definitely looking at those tracks, it probably technique, you got to have it really good. So he probably got it from there, you know, standing through those long ruts around those long sweepers. So it probably adapted to that in Supercross, you know, just standing through all those ruts and corners, which has really helped him.
Yeah. Have you the 125 on Supercross? I mean, there's probably not that many people in the world right now that are doing motos on a Supercross track on a 125. What's that been like for you?
Yeah, definitely bringing back the old style, right? You know, 125 back in the days. So it's definitely pretty cool to ride a 125 on a Supercross track. We got that thing, a lot of bottom end, so I can clear the triples, you know. Out of those turns, you got to have a lot of bottom end. So we geared it all right and get those rhythms good.
What are you going back and watching old school footage of 125 Supercross main events and seeing what these guys are doing? Because it's kind of weird because like the style of riding's changed since people were on those bikes now, but I'm sure you could probably still go back and kind of look at it.
Yeah, definitely. You go back and watch, the Supercross tracks were so much different. It was like no, the rhythms weren't really like how they are now. I have to get everything perfect. It was just like kind of just sent it. Really, those guys were like endoing and kind of Uncle Ronnie style out there, but definitely got to clean everything up now that you're on a 125 on these Supercross tracks, and especially those things aren't 100%. You don't like get that 4-stroke fuel injected, so you definitely got to be smart with what you're doing. Yeah,
and so it's obviously a long-term play for you to be riding a 125 in Supercross, because obviously like you're not gonna race a 125 in supercross. So like in your mind, what's the benefits of riding a 125 so much now in supercross?
Yeah, honestly, I'm not even racing the 125 that much either at the Nationals. Obviously, at Loretta's, I'll race my Super Mini, and because I'm aged for that. But 125, I'm just using it to get used to the chassis. And on Supercross, the bigger bike, getting those rhythms. I feel like Super Mini's so small, you can kind of throw it wherever you want. The 125, you're getting used to like getting it sideways to those rhythms and getting everything clean, perfect, and getting used to the whoops with the bigger wheels, definitely. So 125 has just helped me adapt to the 250 once I get onto it.
Yeah, dude, I rode a 125, so I ride a 350, and one of the boys that works here, he's got a Husky 150, and I rode that thing on the weekend after coming off my 350, and I was like, oh, dude, I actually suck at motocross.
Yeah, it's definitely a whole different world when you're on a two-stroke. Definitely works your body a lot more than having that power, just easy.
Yeah, because I feel like, I mean, especially me just going from a 350 to a 150, I just noticed how much lazier I could be on a four-stroke. So in your, like, where you're at in your development of, wanting to, like, get better and progress for this big picture goal of, like, being a Supercross champ, it's pretty cool that you're so committed to, doing the harder thing. Like, riding a 125 is harder right now than if you just rode a 250F, right?
Oh, 100%. Yeah, it's definitely 125 is the size of the 250. Pretty close. I'm pretty sure almost the same exactly, but it's just a whole different power range, from not having as much torque to like always having to be on the throttle and flowing everywhere and getting your shifts quick because those things run out of gear really quick. So like getting your shifts quick will help you on the 250, always being in the right gear.
Yeah. What has been I mean, you've kind of always rode Supercross, but I feel like nowadays it looks like you guys are focusing more on it. Is that definitely more fun for you than motocross, or like where you at in terms of like the motocross Supercross deal?
Yeah, definitely. I kind of based my schedule off riding Supercross and motocross during the week. Either Supercross one day, maybe 2 days every here and there. But if you think about it, when you go pro, you're obviously going to be half the season on Supercross and the other half on motocross or whatever it is, how they schedule it. But it's definitely good to get the practice in now and be ahead of the game. And yeah.
Yeah, no, I think it's I think it's awesome, dude. Have you got any cool stuff coming up on the YouTube channel, or do you guys plan much of that stuff out, or is it just pretty much like on the fly? You guys are just wherever you're at, whatever you're doing, they're just filming around like you in grind mode?
Yeah, technically I have the camera following me everywhere at the track, so it kind of goes wherever I go. But yeah, so whenever I'm at every track, there's always a camera guy filming, so it's wherever I go, technically they just follow me. We don't really plan much, but only thing we ever like plan to film is if we do any collabs with any popular people, But
Yeah.
mainly it's follow me everywhere I go.
What's has it been cool to see how much that's grown over the last couple years?
Yeah, it's cool to bring a big channel to the motocross industry and just have a big family towards YouTube. But yeah, it's brought a lot of younger motocross kids together, so it's always cool going to the track and they're like, know who you are, like, yeah, I'll watch your YouTube channel, so it's always pretty cool.
Man, I'm not sure if you would be old enough to, or like not old enough, but I'm not sure if you would fully understand like how important it is what you're doing with the YouTube channel. Like there'd be so many kids, dude, that would be asking their parents for dirt bikes because of you and your brother. And man, from the motocross. Yeah. Oh, sorry, you go, bro.
Yeah, I know, it's crazy. I have like kids come up to me or parents are like, we just bought a dirt bike because you had a guy at the gym, just, a random kid, I think he plays football or something, and his dad was like, yeah, I just bought a pit bike because I just watched your guys' channel, so I bought a dirt bike. And I was like, dang, that's pretty cool, people are obviously buying dirt bikes and stuff because they watch the channel, so that's super sweet.
Yeah, and I mean, like, this is the reason like KTM would give you a motorcycle is so that other people would see you ride it and then want to buy a motorcycle. And it's like, you guys are doing that on this extremely large scale. And yeah, I mean, I think that it's just it's really important what you guys do. And I mean, it's cool because you're just being yourself. It's not like, like you said, you just got a camera following you around at the races. You don't have to be this different person. You don't have to do anything different. Like, you can just inspire these kids, and not even kids, dude, like older guys as well. And you can inspire those people to ride. And it's like, that's the goal of the whole motocross industry. And people try really hard to do that. And you get to have that influence by just being yourself. It's a real special thing that you guys have got going.
Yeah, it's super cool, It's definitely crazy how it brings everyone in motocross together, and even people from outside of motocross that want to get a dirt bike. So it's definitely an advantage for a KTM.
Yeah, and dude, I want to be at your first supercross race just to see the people that show up at your pits. It's going to be crazy.
Yeah, I know. I'm excited. I can't wait for that first race, Hopefully we can come out there swinging and hopefully win the first one. That would be my goal, so we'll have to put in the work.
Do you remember the first supercross race you ever went to?
It would have been ages ago, probably Anaheim.
Yeah.
Supercross, but maybe even when I raced the KTM Junior Challenge, might have been the first time I've ever went. And I was like
really?
6, 7 maybe.
No way.
Yeah.
That's so crazy, huh?
Yeah, it is crazy to think that you were going that long ago.
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, the time goes quick, huh?
Yeah, it's crazy, from little bikes to big bikes, you think, oh, can't wait to get on a 250, and then once you get on that 250, it's just all the way until probably 20 something, and then you get on that 450, hopefully get your championships in 250, and then go succeed in 450 as well.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you know in your head when you think you're going to do Supercross? Like, have you got it in your mind, like your plan?
Yeah, definitely you sit down with the team and schedule your future plan out, right? So I'd say it'd be 17 to 18 years old would be my Supercross debut, because 16, I'm 15 right now, so get on a 250 after Loretta's, which is July, August is when Loretta's finishes, so get on a 250 after there, and then do 250B mod my first year, and then go pro. So I'll probably be racing pro, like amateurs at 17, maybe end of 16, and then mix in a few supercross races with that as well, every here and there. But I want to come in swinging, so probably be 18 when I fully commit to my first season of pro.
That's super cool, man. And so you guys have got this really cool platform. You've got the Deegan 38 thing. You've got all your own sponsors. You got all your own deal. Do you want to get a factory ride, or do you want to make your own team, Deegan 38, and win as like a family, like you guys always have?
Oh no, definitely want to go with the factory route. Like the cameras and everything's cool, but like when I gotta put down my championship stuff, it's focus time and not worry about filming and stuff, and just put the grind down. So obviously for a team, and yeah.
Well, dude, it's super cool, man, and we'll get Dax on real quick before we get your dad. Right. But hey, I got the feeling that we're probably gonna do this a few more times in the future, man. So I appreciate the effort that you put into motocross. I appreciate all of the things that you do for the community on a whole, even though, like we said, it's just you being yourself and doing your thing. But yeah, you inspire a lot of people, man, and I think it's a really cool thing that you should be proud of. And not a lot of people your age get the opportunity to inspire people the way that you do. So I'm real grateful for you, dude.
Yeah, thank you for having me on too.
No, I appreciate it, bro. I'll talk to you soon. If you enjoyed this content, please like and subscribe. And to listen to the full 3-hour podcast, search Gypsy Tales in your favorite podcast platform or click the link in the description below. Gypsy Gang.